Hey guys, what's up? So episode 4 is called "Let's Give the Boy a Hand," and they in the opening they find a hand at the beach, um, and like I also hate police procedural shows, but the forensics in this episode were really interesting to me.
Incorrect. Yeah. I thought that was cool. They used the word lividity.
Yeah.
Like, you never hear that on a cop show. I was really happy.
Yeah.
Lividity is important.
Forensics is kind of interesting, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, really get into it. And when you see it follow through with stuff, it's, you know, it's kind of cool. Do we actually see Jeb Bush in this episode?
I
feel like he was on TV.
It. Yeah, you know? I think that's right.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. And it just reminds you how long ago this show was.
Please clap.
Yeah. So a photo of the area turns up, and Dexter's just being weird as fuck at this crime scene. And I'm like, no wonder Doakes is suspicious of you, man. Like, keep your shit together. You're all like,
I was like, why aren't more people concerned about this guy?
Yeah. But he seems to recognize, like, the he just says, if this feels familiar, and then he just stops talking. Like, okay. But we then see a flashback of him and his family at the beach. And when I rewatched this for the first time again recently, all that kept going through my mind was goth kid on vacation.
Right? I was like, don't teach this kid to be a serial killer. He just needs therapy. Like, he just needs some Prozac.
Oh my god.
Why should I smile at the beach? It's dumb and bad and it's sand and I hate it. And like, so does every emo kid. Like,
yeah.
It's just a phase.
Right?
Don't give it.
Dexter was the goth kid on vacation. He was totally the goth kid on vacation.
Literally.
I need to do an edit with Dexter in with the goth kid on vacation video with Dexter. That'd be kind of funny.
That young Dexter's would be perfect.
Yeah, for sure. But it was, so at the time when they were during the flashback, it was called Rand Beach instead of Petrie Beach or Petrie Beach, whatever. Harry triggered the fuck out of me in this scene.
What?
Harry in the flashback. And I had to keep reminding myself, okay, he's doing this because Dexter is a budding serial killer. He has to, like, enforce some sense of normalcy in him.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it was so triggering for me because I'm just like, it just brought me back to, like, being told how to act when I was young. And like, why? That doesn't make sense.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there's a scene where I really want to talk about Harry's behavior.
Okay.
In this episode.
Awesome. But yeah, so he basically, you know, told me he needed to fake it to fit in. But what I did like about this episode is that Harry, like, just being the typical, like, you know, dorky, like, the typical dorky, corny dad this episode reminded me so much of Dexter when he's in that mode, you know? And I thought that was really cool. Because it was just, I don't even know, like, I'm sure they wanted it to come across that way because, like, Harry raised him, but It didn't necessarily have to, but it totally did to me. Like Harry just seemed like Dexter.
Yeah.
When he's in, when he's in dad mode. But so Dexter goes through his photo albums later, and he finds that he figures out that the ice truck killer broke into his apartment.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. So what are you thinking, this being your first time watching it? What are you thinking at that moment? Like, because you don't really have anything to compare it to. Like, if I
Yeah.
was watching something like this happen in a later season, I'd be like, okay, this has never happened before. Why is this guy?
I would, yeah, like, obviously it's someone who's been tailing him for a long time and been watching him for a long time.
Yeah.
And, like, knew his schedule, like, when he would be out long enough. So that's, like, very creepy on its face. Yeah. I thought that was like, it's obviously, it's obvious that the ice truck killer's been trying to communicate with him the whole time, but that really escalated it, and like quickly, like it's only episode 4, like I wasn't expecting them to be so intermeshed already.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, and I'm betting there weren't too many people who were thinking this, because we didn't see enough of, up until this point, up to this point, we hadn't really seen Doakes getting too creepy with Dexter. But I'm wondering if anybody like suspected that maybe Doakes might be the ice truck killer. But I don't know. I mean, because at this point we only saw him like, just being a dick to him at work, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But so I thought the scene with Dexter and it was Angel, right? Or was it Masuka?
Oh, I meant to say Angel's at the beach, but I loved when Harry was like, Dexter, you need to smile, and Deb's like, yeah, pretend like you're burning ants.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I totally forgot about that. That little girl's line delivery was so great.
Yeah. Pretend like you're burning ants.
That's so funny.
Brutal.
She was really funny.
Yeah.
But was it Dexter and Angel, or Dexter and Masuka that were that made the discovery about the hand?
Angel.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was really fascinating. Like, it showed, it didn't just show that, like, it explained how Dexter came to the conclusion that Tony Tucci was likely still alive.
Yeah.
And they were getting body parts every 12 hours.
Yeah.
So they had they had a clock. They're
getting body parts every 12 hours, and they all had the same level of decomposition and lividity and blood flow pattern as the previous ones, which means they were being removed from a live body.
Yes.
That's then LaGuardia picks up her phone and is like, I have wonderful news.
That's right.
Your son's alive and being chopped into several pieces.
Oh my God, seriously.
Yeah.
I can't wait until we can get into why this dude probably would not have lived. But we can get into that one when we get there, because I don't want to get ahead of myself. But yeah, Matthews, who is like, out of all the regular, like, quote unquote non-villain characters, who is the most villainous, actually says something that makes sense. He basically goes in on LaGuardia for unleashing this manhunt.
Yeah. Without having all the information.
Yeah. But yeah, she does not want to go talk to his mother. I don't blame her.
You just called her kid a murderer, and
right?
you created a manhunt.
But at the same time, like, why would you send her? Like,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I know. I mean, if I were that mother, I would not want to see her. Like,
no,
fucking send somebody else, man. But yeah, it's I love Doakes cutting Deborah down at the beach because she's all excited that, like, look where it got put in her place. He's like, see those people? What are they? Witnesses. What do we do to witnesses? With witnesses, we interview them.
I love that.
Yeah.
I like you being like, go do your job without being like, at least without like completely talking down to her the way everyone else does.
Right. Exactly.
Slightly.
But yeah, LaGuerta goes to see his mom, and and the mom surprisingly just like is treating her like she's an absolute saint.
I know, it's so weird.
I know, it's very weird. But like, and then I think that she doesn't LaGuerta promise her that they'll find him. Like, you can't say that.
Yeah. This is really bad. It's like promising someone will make it through surgery.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But so then we meet Walter. It's Halloween and the kids just want nothing to do with it. Like, they don't want to carve the pumpkin. They don't want to,
It's
like.
so funny that Dexter's like, come on, pumpkins, stabbing, guts.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna love it. And they're like, meh.
Exactly. But I was dying though. Like, Dexter does have some good moments of dark humor in the show, but one of my favorite lines from him is when he's confronting the neighbor, and she's like, I forget what she says to him, but or no, she's like, Walter's an
that neighbor.
Walter's an outside dog. Oh, I know. He's like, Walter's an outside dog, and he's like, well, you put him inside. Walter's an inside dog. She's like, he doesn't like being outside, and he's like, did he tell you that?
Did he tell you that? What is up with her being like, yeah, my dog's loud? Well, the domestic abuse that your girlfriend was living through for the last several years was also loud. So buy some earplugs. Like, what? Yeah. Right? He's like, the dog is keeping the kids up at night and upsetting them. And she's like, well, they're probably more upset about their crack-addicted daddy. And I was like,
yeah.
What the fuck are you?
I know.
Why are you acting like this, like, woman's obvious horrible trauma is your inconvenience?
Right?
Like, why is the next door neighbor literally evil? Like, that was crazy. I don't know. I was like, whoa, why is this woman so terrible?
Seriously,
she doesn't love this dog. She's like, keep your mouthy like crack babies out of my hair.
And of course the dog was a beagle.
Yeah.
Because beagles do not shut the fuck up.
No, they will bark forever.
Yeah.
Ad infinitum.
No joke. I was 15 when our first family dog died, and I wanted to go to the shelter right away to get another dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking around. I was at the Humane Society with my dad, and I was looking around at the dogs, and I saw the dog that we ended up adopting, who I named Clancy. But I saw him, and I thought he was a really a really unique looking dog, and I liked him. I just thought he was really cool looking. But what ultimately, there were other dogs that I wanted to check out, but I put almost no thought into it. I was like, because he was in the room with this beagle that wouldn't stop barking, and every time the beagle would start up, he would just start running around in circles in his cage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta get this dog out of here. So I rescued him from his beagle neighbor.
Oh, you're a hero like Rita.
I am a dog napper. I have dog napped before, but not from people, only from like abandoned places. But yeah, I had to like do some breaking and entering and all that. But you know, the cops.
Yeah, I won't discuss that. I've definitely never done anything like that.
That woman was a nightmare.
It was crazy. She was crazy.
Right?
The fact that she was like, your domestic abuse, your like new girlfriend's former domestic abuse was disturbing me.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
What? Why are you the worst person alive? Did we pass the soccer flashback?
No.
Okay.
No, that I was gonna. Yeah, that was next in the the episode description.
Okay, good. I knew we were close because I want to talk about that.
Yes. By the way, I am just kind of like, I'm not reading word for word, but I'm just kind of following along with the synopses on the Dexter fandom wiki. I will link to those in the description if like there's everything in there. There's an entire page on Mr. Tinker. So I mean like I love fandom. I love fandom.com. There's just like you can find everything you want to find out about an episode or whatever. But yeah, the soccer field. They find a severed foot there. And it's like the soccer field where
he played soccer as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he was emerging as a bully.
Yes, this flashback where he's bullying this kid and Harry's like, Dexter, are you bullying? And he's like, yeah, Dad, I'm trying to fit in. And he's like, you can't be a bully. It draws too much attention to yourself. Cops noticeable. And never once does he say, don't bully, it's bad. Like, you're hurting someone else. Like, he never addresses he's like, you can't bully because you'll get caught.
Because I think he probably figures that Dexter doesn't care that much about that.
Right. I'm just saying, like, he like never, ever, ever is like, bullying is bad because you're hurting. So, like, all of his facts about bullying are about how they might get Dexter. He's like, you'll do a nickel. Like, you can't go down like that. It just cracked me up. I was like, what terrible parenting. Like, don't be a bully. It makes us look bad.
Okay.
Like,
aside from that, though, can you see Dexter being a very successful bully?
No, I can't. Not at all.
No, Dexter is totally the kid that gets bullied at school.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's like, and I'm not saying this in a derogatory way because I feel like he's kind of the same weird that I am. Not like I don't have serial killer tendencies, but he's kind of like, he's socially awkward.
Definitely.
Yeah, like I
just like there was like, maybe you want to be friends with the socially awkward boy.
Yeah, exactly. But
it was like, bullying is too high profile. Dex, you gotta chill.
Right.
Like, that's not the best advice for a child.
Look, Weirda continues to be a terrible season 1 version of herself for forcing Deborah to just watch all of these surveillance tapes.
Yeah.
Maria was just like I said, she just fucked up shit throughout the whole show, but she was just like, even I couldn't even get past, like, I couldn't even, it was to the point where I couldn't even appreciate her for Lauren Velez's acting. Like, I really hated LaGuardia during season 1.
I did not like her.
Yeah.
It just seemed like all she did was act against, like, her own team.
Yeah.
A lot of the
sure.
time.
For sure. But Doakes is still getting harassed by
Clown Squad.
Yeah. By the Clown Squad. And but he mentions that he's like, you fucked a cop's wife. You fucked my sister. And he's like, yeah, I should have waited until after the divorce.
What?
I know. I know. So bizarre. But I love that Rita actually asserted herself with the neighbor.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. But the neighbor, like, continued to be even more of a
berate her for her former abuse.
Oh my.
What a crazy, awful person.
Seriously. I was kind of rooting for Dexter to take her out.
I know. I was like, here's someone you can merge. What a terrible person. What a bane on society.
Seriously. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I can tell you with if that character is still around somewhere in the Dexter universe, then I can tell you with a lot of confidence that I'm pretty sure she how she voted in the in the presidential election.
For show.
But
we know that for show.
Yeah. Angel.
The whole running gag with him trying to get the gift,
like with the jewelry. Oh my god!
Why are you buying your wife like bling? Yeah, not really what women are. The funniest one was Ox.
Yeah,
you need at least four, or else it just says Ox.
Yeah, but I love Dexter's line. Good, because she wouldn't want anyone to think that someone was playing tic-tac-toe on her head. Oh my god. But that's totally something that Dexter's reactions to Angel's gifts totally reminded me of my husband.
Oh.
That's how he would react to something. Not like a gift that somebody gave him. I mean, well, if they gave him that stuff, then he might be like, but I could totally see my husband reacting like that if he just saw that. If he like saw me wearing those earrings or something, that's completely something that he would say.
Both of those necklaces were so wild. Like,
I know. Yeah, it was
is your wife going to be performing in a rap video soon? Do you think this will be helpful?
Oh my god. Oh. And then when Angel's like, diamond-filled hugs and kisses, I'm like, is that a thing?
No. No. Oh, it's god. Not. It's just Ox because you only got two.
I know.
We're so.
Yeah, Deborah tries to get Dexter to help her like figure out where the next body part's going to be found. Meanwhile, he's like going through all his photo albums trying to figure it out on his own. And this is kind of like exchanges like this are are interesting now that I know what their relationship is like in the books. Because early on, Deborah finds out that he's a serial killer. And if I remember correctly, she's a little horrified at first, but she uses it to get ahead.
That makes sense.
So she basically, like, she's kind of totally cool with it because Dexter is also helping her solve cases.
That seems like Deb.
Yeah. But let's see what else. We see more flashbacks. We see the family and we see the Morgans in a pumpkin patch, which is where they found part of Tucci's leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out, and then the neighbor, and then we see the neighbor again, like coming out in rage that Walter's missing. And when I first saw this episode, I remember thinking, oh my God, he did not kill that dog.
I really thought he killed the dog. I really thought he killed the dog.
Yeah. But yeah, fortunately Rita took Walter to a home where he could be an inside dog. But I just love the way he casually shrugs at her, like he's like, I don't know. I don't know where your dog is. But oh my God. Rita comes to his apartment dressed like Lara Croft.
Lara Croft, and he didn't recognize her? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
I know.
Lara Croft is like socially, like, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. Like, omnipresent, like the Wizard of Oz. Like, everyone knows what Lara Croft looks like.
Yeah.
Who was alive at the time, you know?
Yeah. But oh my God, it is so painfully awkward.
Yeah. She's like, oh, Dexter, I'm here for sexual relations.
Yeah. And
not comfortable.
There's a great scene in Original Sin where Dexter's getting a BJ in the bathroom at a bar, and like he was not expecting this to happen. She just walks in.
Jeez.
And he's like panicking at first, and he's like, maybe you should wash your hands.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I found that like, why introduce his character as asexual if they are just not gonna do that?
Because that's pretty much how he was in the books.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
decided it was too much work.
I think that they may have they may have just decided that they wanted people to. It would be hard to care about Rita.
I can just see some like Showtime executive being like, "This is Showtime, damn it! They've got to fuck." This is premium cable.
But I mean, I feel like in the show they would either have to give Rita a bigger role, or like make her almost like the co-main protagonist.
Yeah.
Or they had to like make the audience care more about her through Dexter. So I can kind of understand why they did that.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. But like sexuality is it's not really binary.
Yeah, absolutely.
But especially with like asexuality and with like aspec is very, I mean, it's quite fluid, and there are plenty of people who are very much asexual or aromantic who this would be a horrific situation for them.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
it's also possible, like, for there to be exceptions to
Mm-hmm.
the rule sometimes, I mean, it's not totally binary.
It was strange to me that was like a very serious point in the like first 2 episodes. Is like, I'm Dexter. I don't like to touch women, and Rita's great because she's frigid and beautiful. The perfect woman.
Yes.
Like she has like the perfect, Madonna thing going on for him, and then we go from that to like Lila by season 2, and I'm like, it's one thing for him to be like slowly warming up to Rita after like months of being together, but like there's a lot of sex on that. He has a lot of sex on the show.
That's what I didn't like. I felt like Dexter. I was okay with Rita.
Yeah,
but
because
I felt
like dating and they have the kids. Like it's a whole thing. I can see that relationship happening,
but yeah, it was very weird to me for it to go beyond just Rita, and but I definitely, it definitely seems to me that Dexter is demisexual and demi-romantic more so than Ace, but and I want to watch what I say because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but there's a character that comes along later in the show. The way he behaves around her made me so uncomfortable because I'm just like, this is not Dexter. Like, he's getting all like flustered and stuff. And like, that is not Dexter. Like, it was clear that he had a full-on crush that he was not acknowledging at whatsoever. But like, it showed him being clumsy around her and like, just like, I did not like that. I was very unhappy about it.
I don't like that.
Anyway, Rita actually like ends up kind of helping Dexter in this episode a little bit. Because like she just, she pointed out that Harry was in some of the photos that he's looking at, and he's looking at this picture of him and Harry outside the Angel of Mercy Hospital, and he turns it over and there's a smiley face on it. And he so he just like immediately takes off. Dexter, like, the amount of time I need to go through the entire series and count up the amount of times that Dexter just abruptly leaves a situation.
It's at least once an episode.
At least.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, for sure. It gets like, he turns into a jerk about it actually at one point in season 3, season 3, I think. Yeah, season 3. And he really pissed me off. He was just like a flat out jerk, but he was kind of freaking out about shit, I think. Like, shit with Rita was just getting a little too real for him. But yeah, he was like total outright dick to her. And I was like, God damn, we're actually supposed to be rooting for you? What the fuck? But anyway, yeah, you'll get to that soon because it's in season 3. But so we see Doakes get kidnapped. Okay, this is another thing that I'm going to go in on. Doakes gets kidnapped by Guerrero's guys, and they're about to kill him when the cops rush in and arrest them all. And Doakes is like, what? So that you were just using me as bait all along? Come on, really? I realize that sometimes, you want to prioritize the story over the realism. But this is really pushing it.
Yeah.
I
It
I mean,
bothers me that Dokes is like the only dark-skinned character, and he seems to eat a lot of shit.
oh my god. But it's just like it's it's one thing to just to use somebody as bait. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you're putting informants in a dangerous position when they wear a wire, but they're still somewhat cooperating.
They consent to it.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. But you're not only going to use someone as bait, you're going to, without their consent, you're going to use a cop, one of your fellow cops.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy, he was about to get killed.
Like, how did they know to come in right at that second?
Right?
What if they had come in 2 minutes later or whatever? He would have already been dead.
Yeah. I mean, I hope to God that like I would hope that these guys all got fired afterward, but I don't think they
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
Yeah, like what the fuck, man? If
Takes
I
an
if I were
awful lot.
Dokes in this episode, I'd be coming up to Dexter, I'd be like, all right, look, we gotta
Let's
talk.
murder these guys.
I'm on to you. You know I'm on to you. You gotta help me with these guys. You know?
Yeah. I wanted to see them team up.
Oh, that would have been super cool, actually.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool. But Doak still hates him and is still like giving him shit the whole time, and
perfect.
Like the way he talks to Dexter is so funny.
The way that he ends every sentence in motherfucker. Like,
yeah. Prior to Dexter, had you seen all of the surprise motherfucker memes?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, there's a lot. It's like the most it's like the most captured image from the show.
That makes sense to me.
We see Dexter finding Tucci. And he basically was led there.
Yeah.
Because Tucci was kind of a gift for him. Which is really fucked up that he was being kept alive
for Dexter.
As a present for Dexter. Like, that's so fucked up.
Pretty creepy, sis.
Yeah. But Dexter is like, okay, well, I'm not gonna kill this guy. He's innocent. Like,
he doesn't fit the code. The code.
Yeah. But yeah, so he leaves an anonymous tip for Deborah. Like, I wonder how he did this. Did he pay someone to make a phone call? Or did he disguise his voice? We see him do that.
Yeah.
A few times in the series, like he disguises his voice. And like the best is there's a scene in one of the later seasons where he knew that somebody was in his apartment. And so he called his home and left a message on left a message for himself on his answering machine. And he's like, hey, this is so-and-so from Schooner Later, just making sure that we're on for our 1:00 appointment today. It was really hilarious. But yeah, so Tucci gets rescued. And thank God Laguerta takes her off surveillance duty, because that would be really shitty if he got rescued.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. But yeah, the episode ends with Dexter like looking through his looking through his blood slides and had a picture that he found of himself that was taken by the ice shark killer. And he obviously burns it.
Spoopy.
Yeah, very creepy. Obviously, he burns it because that's not something that he wants to have laying around.
No.
But this is fun fact. This is one of only a few episodes in the entire series where nobody dies. Which makes me wonder if maybe we should do a funny little in memoriam like they did on Talking Dead after Walking Dead. They do an in memoriam every week, and if there were no deaths, they would actually they would include walkers in the in memoriam. They'd be like, Pothead Walker.
Too. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, who's your
my MVP, my Dark Passenger and Donut Bringer are both from the same B story, and the Dark Passenger is that neighbor. Because oh my god, what a horrible person!
Seriously,
what a horrible person! I cannot believe that. And then my Donut Bringer is going to be Rita, because I really enjoyed her finding that dog a loving home. That was the best case scenario for that situation to work out.
Agreed. I completely agree. Yeah, I'm gonna give do I want to give you know what, I'm gonna give the Dark Passenger award actually to that whole group of cops.
Yeah, that works.
It's like, what the fuck? Seriously.
Yeah. You guys are not cool.
Yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
And I just said that I don't want to give Dexter the obvious ones, but he's my honorary MVP for calling in for calling the Tucci find in. But yeah, the real MVP, the real Donut Bringer award I'm giving to Rita, also for the same reason. And she found the dog a much better situation.
Yes.
And an honorary MVP to the actress who played young Deborah.
Yes. For sure.
For that brilliant line delivery.
Yeah.
Pretend you're burning ants. I love that.
That was funny.
So who's your favorite character so far at this point?
Batista, I think. Yeah. Which is weird. And dudes are never, they're just like, all of the female roles need work. Yeah. We're at the point where I'm at. I also liked Doakes in spite of myself. I liked Doakes a lot. I feel like he's getting a rough shake of things. Yeah. I really enjoy Dexter's relationship with Rita's kids too.
Yeah.
They're like cute without being like precocious, you know.
Yeah.
It's not
I
too
do
much.
too. I do too. I like it too. I think he has really good chemistry with those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really cute together. I know you like Doakes and Deborah, but like I just think Eric King and Michael C. Hall have so much great chemistry together.
Absolutely.
I would have loved it. It would have been super cool to see them keep him around and have him like become an ally.
Yeah.
But we continue to find out throughout the series that Dexter shouldn't have friends
It
because it doesn't work out very well.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Seems like a tough position to keep a lot of good friends in.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Especially when they start questioning the code.
Yeah. Because it makes no sense.
Right? Yeah, I can't like how far are you into season 3?
I'm about to start episode 4.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Yeah, it's
Dexter and what's Jimmy Smith's character's name?
Miguel.
Miguel. They've had their encounter.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Has he given him a shirt yet?
No.
Okay, all right. That becomes a really interesting thing in the season. But yeah, it's I absolutely love that character. I think he's so fascinating. But yeah, I know you hate Mitsuka.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah, I see it's hard for me to even remember what I thought of LaGuerta during season 1 just because it's been so long and I started liking her later on, but I started liking her for the reasons that I shouldn't like a character. But there's really no character on this show that's, I mean, other than like Rita, who's a really good person. So I appreciate her for her layers and like.
And Rita's too far the other side.
Yeah.
Like, I think I said this last week, but every time she comes into a room, it's like the slow motion moment from Not Another Teen Movie. Like, Rita's so perfect and beautiful and damaged, like, just the way you want a woman.
That's another thing that I want to go through and count up the number of slow motion Rita shots.
Just laughing and spraying the hose in the air.
Yes.
The children prance around in the background. Just
oh my
always
God.
making pancakes and smiling and leaving whole bottles of juice on the table.
I love that this show has its own slow-mo music.
Right? Yes.
Because so many episodes end on it's really kind of cheesy. For as good of a show as it was, it's really fucking corny.
It's like I feel like if I had watched it when it came out, it would have blown my mind.
Yeah.
Like it's 100% like for the time it came out, it's groundbreaking, you know? Yeah. Now it's definitely dated. But
it's like every episode practically ends with the slow motion montage with that same music. And it's like, you know, Dexter's voiceover about, you know, like the lesson of this episode.
Yeah.
It's so corny. It really is.
We learned to murder better.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's I have I swore off the Dexter universe forever. I said they would never get me back. So, and I'm still Original Sin hooked me, got me back in. But I'm just gonna prepare people like I'm probably gonna trash this show a lot as we go along. But I still love it. You know what I mean?
It's good of you to be able to enjoy it and still speak about it critically.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
There aren't too many shows that I can do that about. Because it's like it either pisses me off. Well, the thing is, when it pisses me off, then I know the show is doing something wrong. Because and obviously Dexter pissed me off at the time, but now it's just kind of funny to me to like because it's an older show, so I could
Yeah.
appreciate that some of this stuff was just because of
The time.
yeah.
Yeah.
TV was less realistic. It was cornier. I mean,
Yes.
it just was. Like I can't watch Friends anymore. I mean, like at the time I thought it was the funniest fucking show ever. And now it's like I can't get through a single episode without thinking, "Oh my god, this none of this humor holds up."
A
And
lot of it
it is
doesn't.
no. And
I think
it's
about
so
the fact
fucking
that
problematic.
Friends won GLAAD awards.
What?
Friends went for Ellen, or Susan, and what was her girlfriend's name? Ellen.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my god.
Susan and Ellen's wedding, because it was the first one of the first gay weddings on television, and that show was so homophobic.
Yeah.
So homophobic, but it won GLAAD awards for
My
that.
god.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, the only 2 episodes that I will actually go back and watch willingly are the ones with John Lovitz and Danny DeVito, because they were
Oh my
both
god.
hilarious.
So one of my dark secrets is that I am Rachel and Joey truther. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I hate Ross. I think he's like one of the worst characters ever, and he was never in love with actual Rachel. He's in love with the idea of Rachel that he's had in his head since high school, and like feels like he's put the relationship tokens in, and so that like sex and love should fall out of the Rachel machine. And Joey met Rachel and got to know her and became like one of her best friends, and then grew to love the person that she actually was. So I do like I think that's his best acting on this series, is the episodes where he's realizing that he's in love with Rachel before he's told her. So I still like that arc, and I still I like Phoebe, but otherwise the show is not my favorite.
Yeah, Phoebe was great.
Yeah.
That's funny that you said that you're a Rachel and Joey truther, because I was a total Phoebe and Joey truther.
Yeah. It's weird that they did it together.
So perfect for each other.
I do love Mike though.
Yeah.
It's Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
My good friend. Paul.
And it gave me inspiration for Banana's full name. Princess Consuelo Banana Hammock.
Banana Hammock, of course. That's brilliant. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's a mixed bag. The fat shaming is so awful on that show.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God,
I know.
Is it awful?
Oh,
but yeah.
And everything with who played Chandler's other mom?
Kathleen Turner.
Yes, Kathleen Turner. Thank you. I couldn't remember. Everything with Kathleen Turner's character was like, oh my God. So
man, duh.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
Brutal.
So fucking problematic. And like, what did they get their first black cast member? Like at the second to last season?
7, yeah. Did you? Let's not get on the whole thing, but I'll talk to you about it. I'll text you about it later. But yeah. It was because Dave Schwimmer demanded to date a black character, so props for him for doing what they should have been doing the whole time. But yeah.
Well, that's cool at least.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so we are really wanting to do some giveaways. We haven't really had anyone joining our Dexter streams yet. But if we can get enough people in the chat, we will give some fun stuff away. I'm trying to do a fun little giveaway called Find Deborah's Treadmill. And it's there's absolutely no secret meaning in that.
Nope.
None whatsoever.
Don't examine the first letter of each word. That wouldn't bring you any kind of clue.
No. But I'm so excited about this giveaway that I put the initials on
yes,
my board behind me.
Find Deborah's treadmill. It's
yes.
super obvious.
But so I'm really wanting to do that. Also, I'm still looking for somebody to do an episode with me, just a short episode. Like you don't even need to be on camera. Like usually when we dissect trailers and stuff, like I don't even turn my camera on for those episodes most of the time. What's up?
I didn't say anything.
Oh. But yeah, so if anybody, I've got some theories based on the behind the scenes, or not the behind the scenes, based on the filming photos that we've seen. So I'd love to have somebody join me for that because I just don't want to do it by myself. But if you are just finding our channel, please check out our Yellow Jackets coverage. That's primarily what we're known for. We are also going to very soon have a Cyborg Queen Media podcast, which most of our non-Yellow Jacket stuff will go on to. You'll be able to find that on wherever you listen to podcasts. But we will see you very soon. Leave us a comment if you would like to join a watch party. We didn't do it this week because there wasn't really any interest in it. But if you're interested in watching the Dexter episodes along with us, and joining us in the chat afterwards, let me know and I'll set that up and we can have a fun little watch party. But anyway, thanks for hanging with us. Jazz, did you have anything else that you wanted to add before we get
excited for next week? Yes,
me too. So come and join us and turn your notifications on, because if we change the time for our Dexter lives, then we'll post in our community tab on our channel. But that's all for now, and we will see you guys real soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.